Hey guys, it's Coast World. In today's video, I wanted to talk about everything that's going on in the coaster community. Real quickly, this is a joke, so don't take this video too seriously. It's just for fun. So first thing I wanted to talk about is we're not going to talk about how paint changes, like how Kraken and how Bizarro are actually such a big deal for parks, as that means at least we get something new. Like, the coast community can be very ungrateful for small changes, and that actually kind of annoys me because I get it's not much, but and I know a lot of other people in the community are okay with changes such as paint, new color schemes, like how Bizarro's starting to, or how just because Orion isn't technically 300 feet tall, people are mad about that. Like, the ghost community gets mad over some stupid stuff. Like, I get Orion is not 300 feet and barely classifies as a Giga, and technically you could say it's not really true Giga, but at least you guys get a Giga. Parks like my home park, even, we don't really get new stuff that often. I mean, our newest coaster was a RMC Raptor, which is not really the biggest addition. And you guys are complaining over a 300-foot coaster, aka Giga. For those of you who do not know what a Giga is, it's a 300-foot coaster. Basically, the drop is 300, or even some people classify a Giga as a coaster that, is 300 feet tall. Now, I guess you could count it as a Giga if it's 300 feet tall, but I personally would prefer the drop to be 300. But, yeah, Cedar Fair fanboys, please be okay with the Giga. Some parks really wish they had them, but can't afford them. Once you guys get Giga, you guys need to be happy with it. Not just because it's on Fury doesn't mean it's not a good Giga. Yeah, so think about that. Also, I get Steel Vengeance has all the airtime, but I've personally never ridden it, but it looks like it has, and I've heard from many people that I know who've ridden it that it has more quantity of airtime than actual quality, and personally, I love quality. And why does every coast enthusiast care about airtime more than inversions? Inversions are fun. I don't get it. Now, everything here. Now, of course, real quickly, I have not ridden Sylvan, so don't try. I try not hating on it that much. But seriously, it at this point is so overhyped that at the I just will have too high of standards if I don't try hating on it. Now, of course, once I actually ride it, I'll see if I hate it or not. But it's just a coaster that I find funny how much people love it when the layout really doesn't look as good as some coasters, and it's really just about airtime on it. It broke 15 records, but some of those records really shouldn't count as records, but I mean they do. So yeah, of course, I respect Rocky Mountain Construction is my favorite manufacturer, but I feel like if Steel Vengeance was anywhere else except Cedar Point, it would be absolutely no one. It's number one, or maybe it's a lot of people's number one still, but it wouldn't have as much praise if it was at a different park. Like, let's say it was at a Six Flags park, people would be like, "Oh, it's Steel Vengeance," but no, it's at a Cedar Fair park, and it's at their biggest park. People will love it. This happens with every with most coasters. I mean, Gemini is such a good-looking coaster. I actually almost think it's better than Sylvan in a way. Okay, yeah, that might not be true, but I do feel Seal Vengeance is very overhyped. Of course, again, have not written it yet, so do not take my opinion on that. This is from what I've heard from other people, and the layout just doesn't look as impressive. People say it is. Yes, you can hate me for that, but I think Seal Vengeance is a little overhyped, and I've not written. I mean, have you seen in other coasters, like Hagrid's deserves so much more love. This coaster is incredible. That is saying. I did sit front row though on it, so maybe that helped with how incredible this coaster is. But seriously, it is the funnest coaster I've ever been on. I've been on Velocicoaster. Velocicoaster is way too intense to even call a just for fun coaster. It's intense, it's fun, but it's just Hagrid's. There's something about Hagrid's that just is so fun feeling. I mean, the drop track is one of the most surprising elements I've ever been on. It's like super surprising, and I love it. But please, Universal, give us more rides like Hagrid's. Like, I love Lost Coaster, it's my number one, but Hagrid's is my number three for a reason. This coaster is so underhyped, and that's so sad. I mean, have you seen El Toro Ryan's video on it? He talks about block sections. I mean, yeah, it's a good coaster, obviously, though. I mean, the block sections isn't why I love it. But, no, seriously, though, it is such a fun coaster. The launches are should be way more praised, as these launches are really good for family coaster. And again, that drop track is insane. It is the scariest element I've ever ridden. I guess I've ridden some scarier elements maybe, but no, seriously, it is the scariest element because I was not expecting it at all, and I mean, yeah, maybe I should just do a whole review on Hagrid's one day. But seriously, I cannot get enough of Hagrid's. I need a night ride. Um, just watch this drop track though. Also, can we talk about how like Hagrid's does not stop once, or is designed not to really stop at all during its whole course? That's like really impressive. Most coasters have to stop, and Hagrid's was designed to rarely stop. So that is just mind blowing. Also, you get to see pretty unicorns. Top tier coaster right away. I don't get about coaster enthusiasts is like they really don't pay attention to theming. Except the big coaster YouTubers, they'll talk about theming. But let's be honest, a lot of coaster enthusiasts, theming doesn't matter in their top on what coasters go in their top 10. For me personally, I love looking at theming. I know that sounds like I'm just faking it, but no, I actually do personally think theming can play a part. I mean, that's why Hagrid's is my number three, is it has such good theming. And also theming enhances the experience whether you realize it or not. It does help when a coaster has theming. I mean, it feels more magical. I mean, the spaghetti bowl section on the Lost Coaster probably wouldn't be as good as it is without the rockwork and the theming. The theming in Velocicoaster is one of the main reasons I like it as well. I know, again, that sounds like I'm trying to be different from every other coaster enthusiast, but no, theming matters. Please, realize coasters are better with theming. So, with theming, you have to put that into your rankings. I think it would help, because of the fact that I rank based on how cool the look of the coaster is, and how much theming it has. I doubt if I rode Seal Vengeance, maybe the ride experience would be good enough, but I doubt it would rank in my top 10. It just wouldn't impress me as much as Velocicoaster, where Velocicoaster has theming most points. It has a giant paddock. Like, that is one of the coolest things I've ever done on a coaster, is ride through what is supposed to be a Velocicoaster paddock. And also, can we talk about how front is very underrated? Velocicoaster, I prefer front seat. If you've watched my review, you know that I do prefer front seat. I think it is the best seat on the coaster, and it is really just such an underrated seat. I get back has like the whippier parts, but sometimes back isn't the best seat. Like, when people hear that I personally prefer front, some get shocked, and I just don't get it because front is very underrated. Maybe that's because sometimes it's nice to not have the intensity of a coaster. Like, I love intensity, okay? That's literally the fun part about being a coaster enthusiast, is coasters give intensity. But sometimes, have you ever thought about, it's actually nice to take a break from intensity and maybe and just have, like, a ride where you don't black out or gray out? I mean, didn't really gray out on Velocicoaster, but Velocicoaster's very intense. And I actually do believe the front is less intense, of course, but it also gave more airtime, in my personal opinion and from my experience. So, the takeaways, I guess, from this are don't like rank coasters based on, or do. It's really not up to me. I really don't care, because at the end of the day, we're all coaster enthusiasts. We're all part of one of the greatest communities on earth, and seriously, just keep riding roller coasters. I mean, roller coasters are something that, for some reason, we all love, and has brought so many people together. I mean, everyone I've talked to in this community has been nothing but nice, supportive about my YouTube, um, and just incredibly some of the best people I've ever met. And, I never thought I'd be planning on going to trips that cost me over $3,000. Yeah, it's being a coaster enthusiast is a very expensive hobby, but it is something that I would never take for granted. I mean, again, remember, even if you have different opinions, I mean, opinions in this community are so important. I mean, they're literally what makes us all want to talk coasters, is our opinions. We love sharing our opinions with other coaster enthusiasts. Like, whenever I get to share my opinions with other coaster enthusiasts, I love it. It's fun. You get us people learn your opinions. That's why opinions, I feel like, are so important. Now, again, remember, this video is not serious at all. I mean, this is just to have fun with the idea of why opinions are so important in this ghost community. This is my chance to really share my opinions about my hot takes, I guess you could call it, about the ghost community. And I love the coaster community. There's issues, yes. I mean, Instagram has a bunch of hackers taking over coaster community accounts, which I don't get why they target the ghost community. But thank you for watching. Keep riding and subscribe and like if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. Keep riding. This has been Coaster World. Oh, also, I real quickly did want to talk about some projects I'm working on. I know most of you probably clicked off the video, but here's some cool projects I'm super excited to show the world, and some will be a very long time from now. But first of all, I'm launching my own short film. It's gonna be a short film based off my home park called The Silvered Story. And also I'm launching a new series that will kind of joke around with the idea of a certain fan group. Of course, that video will be another video you shouldn't really take serious. Keep riding. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like if you enjoyed this video. Thank you.